Welcome to Talk Pro to Me, the podcast where we talk about our passion, the purpose, and the paths that led us to the professional remodeling organization, Pro. We are excited you're here. I'm Sarah Waters. I'm your host. Now let's build something great. This episode is brought to you by Sinovation, where brands show up and win. We are excited to kick off our podcast today. I've got Chris Harwood with Merch Club, founder, owner. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Chris, tell me what products do you guys offer?
So we do branded merchandise for companies.
Okay.
We do everything from custom apparel, hats, drinkware, bags, custom packaging, trade show events, everything that's customized.
Yeah, really nothing you couldn't get in, right? You can make it happen.
I say yes, and then we go figure out how to get it done, but we absolutely do it all.
We've worked together. You've done a lot of product for us, but it was really important to you to not just provide us product. You really wanted to know our story and help get us the best services and materials that fit the needs of our customers. So how does that work when it comes to you guys and your services?
Yeah, I think our approach is a little bit different. A lot of times we really open up the discussion to broader places. So figuring out what is the objective, what is the audience behind it, what are kind of some of the priorities from the client's point of view, and then we really start mapping out solutions based on all those things.
Awesome. So it's not just come in, get a hat. You really want to develop, like, what do they want? What's the mission within this organization? And you try to help service the best products to fit that.
100%. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hats are fun. We love hats. I think it's different how we do it for each client. We really have to kind of have a full understanding so that when we bring the solution, it's perfect for that client.
Trade shows. I know a lot of product, right? But what are some of the best product you recommend to have at a trade show?
Yeah, it is so wrapped up into what is the strategy at the show? Who are you connecting with? How is the team going to approach people that are coming to the booth? So it's for us not always about the item. We can always find the perfect thing that matches to budgets and timelines and needs.
So it's not just about a product. It's not just handing something out, right? Are you handing out the right product to the right customer?
100%.
And you mentioned the community and things like that. And I think we've worked together on a couple of charity products when we've done a cornhole tournament for breast cancer. I would say you guys were one of the first to just say, yeah, how can we help? Not what can we negotiate on this price? You guys really did hit the budget to make sure that more money went back to the foundation. Why is that? Why is it so important to you to just really take that little cut of loss and benefit the organizations?
Yeah, I think breast cancer is a really big deal to us. My mother-in-law survived breast cancer, and my wife sold the mammography units all across the country to detect and combat it. So breast cancer is a really big deal to us. We actually partner with Susan G. Komen and do a lot to raise funds for them and be part of that community. I am a big believer that it's all about community at the end of the day, and what can we do to help build these communities around us and be a part of what's building here in Omaha.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Business 3 years, right? Celebrating 3 years in. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
Always a success. What has been some of the key elements to grow your business and continue year to year?
It's been a wild journey. I think we have naturally been attracted to places where the stakes are higher. And so we planted our flag in the healthcare space pretty early on.
Sure.
And I think that has helped us to grow in some pretty immense ways. I think some of the best remodelers and builders are right here in Omaha, but that client experience goes hand in hand because they're walking in and homeowners are extending trust. They're letting them into their house.
Tell us, you've grown to a staff of 4. What's it like having to lead people? What would you say your style is and how you keep them motivated?
I think the biggest thing for me is how do I inspire everyone in my company to feel like they are the owners and not me saying you've got to do things this way. And so I think that's how we've built everything from every level of growth that we've made. My goal has always been to have an open dialogue with my team so that we are learning whether we're successful or we're learning when things go wrong. And I think that me giving the ability of my team to grow and to experience successes and failures has been a great way of my team taking the ownership that we want to see.
How can Merch Club help a remodeler with that customer experience? Where do you come in?
I think it starts before the homeowner lets someone in their door. I think that trust starts at the very beginning of the process. I think that as a company, you want to be really aligned. Let's rebuild this client experience. Bring a journal because it tells the homeowner, I want you taking notes. I want you asking questions. I want this to be a collaborative process. A custom designed mailer box shows up at the door with a premium drinkware item, a heartfelt message inside, a pen, and a to-do list that says, enjoy your space is the number one item because if nothing else happens and you do that one thing on your to-do list, you're having a pretty good day.
Awesome.
A lot of companies show up with a logo and they think this is a brand. And I think
Right.
what we do is we challenge that. We say that your logo is not just a brand. You notice in restaurants when you walk into a bathroom, whether or not that bathroom is clean actually says a lot.
Yeah,
And how does it
it's true.
smell? And so all of these things are really the brand. It's just how do we amplify so that
Yeah.
externally they're aligned with what's happening on the inside.
Tell us, how did you end up in merchandise? What made you be like, I'm going to go start Merch Club?
It comes with a lot of how I'm wired. I look at things and I think, how do I make something unforgettable, unmistakable? And so we've really kind of found that we exist in those spaces where we can take what is and create what it should be.
Where do you see Merch Club in the next 3 years or even the next year? What is your top goal? What are we working on this year?
I think we've got a lot of big growth areas. I think we want to continue being in communities and working with clients where the stakes are very high.
Sure.
And so that's why we are really excited to continue to grow into the space of the trades to
Sure.
construction. I really truly believe that Omaha has some of the best designers, some of the best builders, and we want to help amplify the right companies who should be really getting the work and
Right.
getting that continued reputation.
Being an entrepreneur is not always easy. What has been one of your favorites of running a business?
I don't think I could be hired by anyone. Now that I've kind
Yeah,
of
it's
built
true.
this, I'm like the least hireable person. I think that it is a continual pressure. And I
Yeah.
think like
Really.
how diamonds are made, that pressure can really stabilize and strengthen over time. So it's been a constant sprint for 3 years. And I look back and look at everything that's been achieved and it starts to feel like you're breaking through. So I think we're starting to hit that peak
Sure.
where our operations, our experience are really aligning with client needs and how we're ahead of this industry in all of those unique ways.
On the flip side, what is one of the biggest challenges you faced in running a business?
That's a great question. I think what running a business is truly is it is education. And
Yeah, it
so
is.
this has been a class of how do we grow and how do we adapt to all the changes that are thrown to us. And so, more than anything, I think this has been a great challenge that forces you to face the realities of what's actually happening and then understand your failures and use those failures to then get back up and really drive through. And I think that constant failing and getting up and pushing through and keeping a professional spirit about it all
Yeah,
and level headedness to it. It's been a journey of growth.
I agree. I think people need to understand that in business, even if you've done it 25 years, you should always be learning, right? Like you could always do something better. Everything's always changing. So I think the fact that you mentioned that continuing education and learning from your mistakes is absolutely key when it comes to running a business. So that's awesome. You've been in pro, we said 6 months. You've been very active. You've been nominated as a new member of the year already in your short time.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, because you've been highly involved. How important do you think it is to be in things like this where you are networking and meeting other companies?
I think it's essential. I think we look at the hardest things to scale, right? And relationships are certainly that. I think to invest in a relationship and to invest in your brand and how people are aware, I think that happens on a personal level. We are excited about the opportunities
Mhm.
that are here in this space. I think for me it's a lot of fun to be a part of the energy and the
Yeah,
excitement and the potential of what this industry can be.
absolutely. As we wrap up, what is some of the best advice you want to leave for anyone considering starting their own business?
Well, I think when you're starting your own business, the goal is to grow a team. And so I think knowing how to motivate that team is going to be a journey that
Sure.
you are going to be on. My grandpa used to tell me if you want to change someone for a day, create a rule. If you want to change someone for a week, motivate them. If you want to change someone for a month, create a reward system. But if you want to change someone for really their life, you've got to figure out how to shape what drives them. And so I think as you look at people, you need to understand that everyone is different, everyone is wired different. And your goal is to help shape what drives them and really spend the energy and time investing in that, whether it be people, whether it be your clients,
Sure.
partners. We treat everyone on those equal terms. At the end of the day, you are, as an entrepreneur, going to be reflected within your company.
Mhm.
And so you kind of got to get out there and really figure out how you can invest in growing that great side of yourself.
Awesome. Well, Chris, it was a pleasure to have you on today, and we'll be seeing you soon.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by Sinovation, where brands show up and win.